Right, I have for MOBB Aquaba Eba Afro City Extra. We are on Filter Sports. And then would the petit to do Hanum say, why Ginny D Power Sports more Ghana Hanum say. Nansia, now what stretch a crab by a band of sports in India, or that's so and Maestro now, who's a sports in him. And then your baby didn't come out Kakra at their fat Blackstar. In say, World Cup, Yami Aduma next week, and a Beshasi. Next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Mexico and South Africa at the Bebo opening game. No, the following day, na US, Abo, na Canada, so Abo, na is a so. Na Ghana, you call World Cup Nibi, yani England, Croatia, and a Panama in the whole group. Yeah, call up, you declare a 28-man squad. And now, a ball bell 11:15, 11:20 p.m. one. And now, Coach Carlos Queiroz. Releasing the final 26-man squad. Only 2 goalkeepers in the frame, Agbesi and Paul Robinson. Later on, you need to say Jiku causing, and now in the course of the day, now I rumor say Jiku. The injury situation, I hired to me for and they confirm say, yeah, Fanin Kona, Lucasin, Ebabishi. And then Blackstar squad here, they call World Cup, and whom Common Abedi. World Cup here, you bet me I qualify for your group stage in and no and ne nipa many bedin come or a tactician. Yes, a band of tactics are and you pa. Many you are big brother, the Maestro walk over. Yawako, is here at your power. I now in the run up again, Mamma Cacha. Is here at your price. Is here as a oh, yeah, conversion as a oh. Politics, you know, the more change sports, you know. Kawan pride, no koto.
So, and just say, politics near with the change sports, no say, if you defeat and Sebi say, Osa, we are so refi now, Osa, coach, Kofa, in Chi, and you know, maybe no sports, anytime be a friend, I'll still do the sports because in the world of, in this world, you know, I global village, I think, and also soon there, and you know, me idea, I'm the name. Media name say any other field be our over friend say me I will do it irrespective of the politics I may or the entertainment mommy I may or the sports mommy I may be I may
big brother
oh yes
with the room street
oh yes
and now about 11:15 morning at Blackstars in the final call up by Coach Carlos Queiroz and Sunday be coming into that collab. The same boots I say proud to this collab. Shall say 20-man squad. Not players when I was expecting say Omube Rem and all the 20-man squad in the buy no surprise when who ya that I didn't know who ya a surprise or pie was our squad.
I think so the barely format of this squad. I don't see any kind of surprising moment here in this squad. I mean, who any surprising because about 80% of this squad no able qualifiers maybe. So definitely. Say unya 80% of the squad. That's all qualifiers are. You could definitely see say just say be something out of bound. It may happen. So be a 80%, mu be a 10% be free Momunko World Cup. Even say Mohamed Kudus or no Jiku was part of the consistent players throughout the World Cup qualifiers. And so I believe say me who anything strong could be but then one of few people be my boy Remono and I may question for that. Someone like Seneya and obi to say there a corner on when to me Uncle World Cup, you know. I believe say we last 2 international friendly matches ayabwa. He has been that defender was stand out of test of time in the defense setup of Blackstars. So I believe say right now as we speak, I mean the squad is very good. We should goalkeeping positioner. Benjamin Asare, Lawrence Atizigi, then Joseph Anan. Maybe a winner will be to say Agbesi
backup
emergency. Any almost back World Cup then or emergency goalkeeper in case of say BBAC or bet me after plans now with me room. So I believe say squad I'm very pleasant with it. I'm very pleasant with it.
Now you room na squad we and compare that of England, Croatia and Panama. Our chances of qualifying from the group stage. Okay, England is coming in with Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
Croatia is coming with an experienced coach or the Croatia World Cup final.
Yeah.
Even last World Cup, Croatia perform well. And I outside the bedroom. Because looking at these two experienced coach, when it comes to show club side, were very experienced, but national side, I feel now or picking England. So what the blaster, your coach, and then the squad, what the compare group name now? What are our chances of qualifying from the group?
All right. So what check it? I mean, the World Cup group stages now. You could get Ghana Blackstars, then you get Croatia, then when you Panama, and then England, right? Good. Now you ain't check it. National teams no more kono or more ankasa a high profile when it comes to World Cup or more highest moment in the World Cup. And the Koma Faso or me in your history. Someone will say history nankasa in football na yana and here. History here. Obi bi obeka say history here in football beyond now that history and as a football na yebono. Football is a repetitive action. They see in 1960 no, whether you like it or not, say chart to na say follow all the things are. It makes sense what happened. So I always believe in football history, and I believe say team Bia or World Cup or good history with the World Cup no it's me equally every man. So I will check it on my bit to say England World Cup no magic back home. And the last time I'm going to the finals was about Gary Southgate. Odomu into the semi-final stage of the competition. When it comes to apart from World Cup, other European tournament, Gary Southgate call the Euros.
The recent
they recently won Odomako finals 2 times. So squad na England they drew the peak of it all for the national team. And so when you be Thomas Tuchel, or no, one of the experienced coaches pass you through the ranks of these clubs side and then was also by into the national team. It tells you say that kind of aura now maybe into the finals. Now let's talk about Thomas Tuchel, the past experience. Now at the time of Borussia Dortmund, who take you off from Jurgen Klopp, he took over in a moment and Jurgen Klopp to me as a share good formidable side for Borussia Dortmund, especially with the identity of the two Edema, the side of Borussia Dortmund. But when Obi to say Thomas Tuchel it took you over now, he also made sure say or the Borussia Dortmund bedroom pempens will be say Borussia Dortmund Obi say no, and yet that extraordinary team Jurgen Klopp domoji the Bundesliga the final of Champions League in 2012, but then you will get 2013, but you will get Borussia Dortmund team. They were competitive enough to compete with Bayern Munich and even in the Champions League. To build those team editor right from Borussia Dortmund on PSG football club. With PSG, we check the number of money you must spend with PSG and a huge number of money. But he came into the football club, dominated our French Ligue 1 or the French Ligue 1 back to back, won the Coupe de France, won every single title domestically for PSG. You know the PSG Echo final, the first final PSG Echo in the UEFA Champions League, it was a certain Thomas Tuchel. Unfortunately, he lost against Bayern Munich into the UEFA Champions League and PSG Football Club. Then he came to Chelsea and took over. Chelsea Echo Champions League final meeting against Manchester City. Pep Guardiola. Listen, one show be as a Pep Guardiola, one of the world experienced football coaches that you get. Coach Manchester City. Why should the team at the finals of the Champions League? And Thomas Tuchel, it's me Echo share no Champions League. So, what check his we are. He has that class. He has that winning streak mentality, and his identity as a coach, is very good for any other either club or national team or team coaches. So, what check it. The England national team. England national team, that national team, players ain't dwell so much in technicality, but then in terms of individual brilliance, in terms of team identity, and in terms of omoniama omaya, you could easily imagine say we are getting England national team and Thomas Tuchel someone who dwell more with the technical aspect of these players. So share England national team players now. Harry Kane, very good player technically. He's very gifted, and he makes sure so already game inwardly. They were teaming up penetrating into the zones of any other opposition teams over here. Which could be Trent Alexander-Arnold. One fananko, but the most gifted player technically, or also very good. You will talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. I also say very good when it comes to that particular position. So to me, I believe say the England national team players, the players and everything surrounding the national team, technically you wouldn't get the best out of them. But then so we'll check the identity and everything that Thomas Tuchel ebe depend solely in the individual performance and the identity of Gary Southgate ejadia to no national team no format that the identity is there. The only thing that Thomas Tuchel will come and do for England national team is to come and make sure say he will just redesign the tactics and make sure say these tactics will suit some individual players a bit me form. Now could be Jude Bellingham. Thomas Tuchel can so many times and the tactics no in suit Jude Bellingham or the Jude Bellingham because he's a big player in the national team and he plays for Real Madrid. Number 10 position, no, I'm not sure says he about the World Cup second game with England. That's a OP. Say Jude Bellingham starting the first 11. I'm not sure that Thomas Tuchel and the best he will maybe come in as a substitute. But trust me, Thomas Tuchel, a world experienced coach at any moment in time, he can change it for the England national team. Then you talk about the Croatian national team coach. He's also a very brilliant coach that you find yourself. But then Bisa say, Croatian national team, no, do they have history when it comes to the World Cup? And he was the only person who taking the national team and making sure say at that time that the national team players of Croatia it drew baby. Sabi so bomudia you could easily imagine say these players are world class players. Oh, Medrumu pick Ivan Perisic,
Luka
Modric. Mention them. A whole lot of players are not mobile. So you can easily imagine say the team that went to play the 2018 World Cup were class of players are not a peak of their form during those moments in time. Rakitic more. Look at what he did with Barcelona, Sevilla. Look at Madrid, Rakitic, and the other guy not about Real Madrid, no, or about Manchester City, Kovacic. You see, these were players who were holding up the midfield for Croatian national team. Omu actually also were solidified. The goalkeeper who was actually doing that job for them in the 2018 World Cup, solid goalkeeper. Now, we check it that time, that year, Obu going into the finals, and France for a short I mean the World Cup. The next World Cup, Omu he was able to qualify them to the semi-final stage of the competition. Until then, Omulusuye, and also going to the finals. There's someone checking the track record of these coaches as a national team coach for the Croatian national team. He has set every record straight. Or set the identity that he knows the players. He has been able to build the Croatian national team from the scratch. It's a Croatian national team, and more beyond say it was a golden era moment in the better Croatian national team and on my endure. The coach now, Ujina Hodema Croatian national team, he is a well-experienced coach. Which check Euros no Dioma Bona. 1 year the crown, but 1 quarter finals. At least we'll be the semi-final stage. So it tells you say he's a well-experienced coach. Now, this will be a moment, apart from the coaching aspect in America, one person who will serve as a player coach on the field of play, Luka Modric.
Well-experienced
midfielder. He has seen it all in the club side. He has seen it all in the national team. The only thing, Luka Modric, as a football player, to re-identify his history with the national team and also the country itself. So the World Cup, their country. When he is able to win the World Cup for Croatian national team, he has cemented his name as one of the greatest footballers of all time for the Croatian national team. If it's also Croatian, that's how compare Luka Modric to even the president. They will pick Luka Modric ahead of the president because he has a history. During those times that the Second World War, he has a similar history with the World War, how his family was being killed, how on one casano unya a certain disease. There was said in the Germany, and how he was able to fight back from the disease. Among the Brene who school man who say and then he doesn't befit the start to play as even a footballer.
Even time Mourinho the neighbor Real Madrid, Florentino Perez was questioning him, say, who is this player?
Who is this player?
On your big stars, but Mourinho told him, say, this guy there was some talents or the neighbor. Obu say at the corner I work on that team. And in fact, look at Modric by Real Madrid team. No kind of consistency in the performance over the years, and I can't be na Ronaldo squad need to Champions League.
Yes. So you just like what you were saying. So 2013, other Mike Clayson and Babu. Mike Clayson now be serving as a loan player, and I look at Modric by as also a permanent player from Tottenham Hotspur. At that time, that Chelsea paid on the 95 million. So Luka Modric, but the Korea and he wanted to play for the greatest club of all time. So what I'm saying is that he is a well-experienced player, And then even as a coach who was, he was also a player coach who managed these players on the field of play. So Croatia national team, England national team have it all for them. But for Panama, right, currently as we speak, say Osha Panama FIFA World Ranking also at the check Ghana Blackstars.
Yes.
And none other the game that they played against Brazil national team
6-2.
6-2 no Emani they say Panama was on they played very well with Brazil national team. But sometimes you'll be playing with big guys. You will need some certain experience and some certain thing that you need to do. And so now you meet me pray akoso. So what I'm trying to say is that Panama is a good side. He has qualified to the World Cup, and he didn't qualify based on some mere merit. He qualified based on his performance and what he was able to do. Known area or born a qualification matches. And I believe, say, coming into the World Cup, so we'll check it these teams are. Number they compare to the strength of Blackstars. The release of players are a buyer, as you can ask me. I can just tell you that Blackstars team, no, the entire Ghana phone, any DDA, Bibrino, Blackstars team with whom say majority of these players no a performance a conform.
Very a conform
majority of them a performance ne conform. And if you could ask me, when we were going to the 2006 World Cup, we had certain number of players that they were playing at the top level for their football clubs. Let me give you a clear example. Sule Ali Muntari was playing at the top level of Italian Serie A, our form. Obi they say, Steven Appiah, in a way, was actually playing at the top level. We're moving from Juventus or Kobo Fenerbahce, playing at the top level in 2006 at that time. Michael Essien was a well-established Chelsea football player, a good defensive midfielder for Chelsea. Utuado was also in Borussia Dortmund. Even Alistair Chimensa Bono as a substitute for Asamoah Gyan in 2006 was playing for St. Gallen. St. Gallen at that time in 2006, go and check. Obi Oji, the goal king, was St. Gallen, that's a Switzerland national team. He scored 32 goals in making sure the top goal scorer for Switzerland. Now what check Ediama Asamoah Gyan at that time. On also seen Italian Serie A. He is well-performing player. Matthew Amoah, a good performer at Netherlands. So we check this cluster of players. Sammy J was also doing good. Lion Kingston was doing good. And then Sammy Kufo had moved from Bayern Munich to AS Roma. So you check the number of players on what form they were, so then you identify everything in it. John Mensah was a top player. John Pencil was a top player. Haminu Dramani was a top player. So these players, some people within natural say at that time, we were going to the World Cup. But we check the level at when the players were playing at the World Cup. They were not just playing for the football clubs. They were commanding starting 11 spots in these European clubs. And they were performing very well. Yeko 2010 World Cup. Now, because of, say, Yeko 2010, the transitional moment in the youth juvenile football, under 17 and 20, we had the moment at under 20 World Cup in 2009. The day you mark you integrated the day you under 20 together with the original Blackstars players no more no. And you mark the 2010 Angola AFCON. You don't know about 9 to 10 players in the realm. You don't know they were able to go into the finals of that particular AFCON. They played against Egypt. Mohamed Gedu. And they shared that lonely goal against Ghana Blackstars. When they scored that goal, and I see it is second, check it in Crawford or Menejidema Ghana Blackstars. That time, Kojo Asamoah was at his peak. Udine. What did I say? Samuel Nkumu. Cross the carpet from Switzerland, FC Bar. Dnipro. Ukraine. Isaac Vorsamo. Hansedu Sapemo. You see, a whole lot of players lying in Kingston. That Blackpool. And I say, yes, Saturn or Richard Kingston or Wigan Athletic.
And Blackpool was in the EPL.
Yeah, yes, it was in the EPL. So those times, these players were there. Giaco, the 2010 World Cup. Sule Ali Muntari,
Inter Milan,
had played for Inter Milan. He had won treble at that time.
Jose Mourinho
did the Scudetto. Aje Coppa Italia. Aje UEFA Champions League. Sule Ali Muntari was part of that squad.
He was a starter.
But then Oba national team no chance. He World Cup.
Antoniana, Prince Boateng,
Very good.
and
Calvin Prince Boateng at that time, Abu against Chelsea Football Club, Portsmouth, in the FA Cup final. We from Michael Ballack into Nibra Banaho. Now about Ghana Blackstars, and then he is commanding the starting 11 for Ghana Blackstars in the midfield.
Even at that time, not Germany for the crown,
very good.
Because of Ballack issue,
and
the man making decisions.
Very good.
Bad team no crown, any general open.
So you could clearly see, say, the 2010 World Cup, they die you. Certain Olympic Marcel did not alone. Wabolo Navy or the World Cup, I bet perform. I say Olympic du Marcel, into the Ghana Blackstars. I can list a number of players at that time, no more performance in Warsaw.
Dominica Dier,
AC Milan. You see, a whole lot of players. But then I'm here to question, say, 2014, na your national team no, it drew the peak, na SNK. But SNK Crampono, we played so well against Germany.
In fact, it was the FIFA rated as the best.
Very good.
Game, of course.
Best fixture, of course, during the 2014 World Cup. Now, in 2018, Intimian qualified. 2022.
That was worse.
Because Ghana football, they are not 17, they are not 20, they are not 23. Those basic transition, they are Emma national team, Ejinano. Just say under 17, under 20, under 23.
Good football.
Affected the national team. So right now, no, you cannot get 2 or 3 players or about the under 23, under 20.
Heading.
Currently in the Ghana Blackstars, unyebi. It's Blackstars na pa koye frefre kobo. Frefre kobo to say, sorry for me using this word, but then see it is a player we ewa hanu monimbo ne ba yebe frena manaba. We don't have an already made player sir or show more than it. Those days no. Albania Samojan. Obenya sorry the manfa Samojan Cranton chain. Obenya Michael Asian. No nya Steven Apia mono. John Pencil mono. And John Mensa or my bomb for about 8 years in the juvenile national team. Sulali Muntari.
And Mike Christian were part of those people.
Very good. Or my bomb for so many years. And I'm over to the national team. This is all Catherine Crampa. He can easily give a pass to baby Michael Asian because
a clear example happened in 2006. Any US given, any 2010. We have a beer as a wager now on 2010, then baby on Nama. Or Katana or Bobo on himself, as a wager will run.
Yeah.
It's the hands of Bobo and Ako. And as a wager ran and scored a perfect goal.
That was Sulali Muntari.
Sulali Muntari.
Run of 16 goal no charge USA. So what I'm trying to say is that, see, Blackstars the drew our peak in 2022. I knew very well say there's no way to be qualified in the group stages now. And about bedroom Pempins will be right now, no. So hey, let's net that's now. Oh, them a top player. Just last year, our top player was Thomas Partey, who was playing for Arsenal. Whereas rape issue that went on among Arsenal for Eja and Aquine, or no call Villarreal. No. When he went to Villarreal this season, don't even command the starting 11 for Villarreal.
Psychologically,
very good. So he wasn't playing that well for Villarreal, football club. Apart from Thomas Partey, you talk about Mohamed Kudus. Starting of this season, and the form no was so. Kudus Anchor World Cup. Jeku has remained a consistent player last year, running up to this particular year, nobody Fenerbahce. But currently, as we speak.
Or Russia. Russia or Bono people attention shed that any horse because we heard the war now between Omoni Ukraine now. Among football they've been isolated from the UEFA. So they don't come into the Champions League that much to play football. People don't really know much about what is happening in the Russian side.
You see, apart from him, why be him?
Salisu
Epra.
Amate Suniti Mo.
Yeah, very good. So, Fatawi Shahaku, Leicester City, Oko Championship, now in Osaka League 1. Antoine Semenyo is the only player already the flag of Ghana Blackstars or Manchester City. Inaki Williams for Atletico Bilbao. When he is playing, you can easily see say Obon Yedema Bilbao club. But this season, Inaki Williams starts, goals and assists, and encouraging sir.
Team performance.
So Prince Edu Kwabna, a fine young guy in the recent friendly Sobai Obobo Yedemai, and there's Nyama back from injury. We need that peak, no sir. So if you're mentioning these names that you call World Cup now, a fine squad, the familiar faces that we've seen throughout the World Cup qualification stage in the year. But to me, I don't think. So this World Cup squad, we know, a good squad here, but individual performances, or more fitness level, and even or more start on the room in the World Cup, form.
Because we have our captain, the team, equal relegation.
Good.
He's coming with Ishayaku performance at Leicester City, and you're bad, do. But I compare Jordan Ayew performance at
very
Leicester City, very bad. Now we having a player like Enes Nyama, who has been injured for close to 1 year, or by 3 games consecutive. They didn't call World Cup. We don't know the starting yet. You made mention of Inaki Williams, who's this season the performance, and the team the performance only the entire team performance. That's why people have raised serious concern about the Spanish number 1, Unai Simon, because they believe that Raya has really performed well this season and he deserves to be in the pool because Unai Simon the performance this year. Open free from one man, Kalip Yenchi. So far, he's the best player in the Danish league. The team no cry anymore. Kwesisibo, the team equal relegation by the performance. Elisha Usu,
on and off.
Now bringing in Baba Rahman raised a lot of issues because this was a player who told us, say, because of the how I see bashing of about Blackstars now, were taken into consideration together with his family. Say Blackstars no nyeding. Bobi also more Blackstars and then he call up didn't be shame.
That is what I'm saying. Say for only reason there. You see, let's leave it like that because he is a Ghana Blackstar player, and main on the issue now. I share with him because I don't know issue this year. And I'm in Namo Stadium, and a Juma and we should understand that. So who ye Juma? The Juma will be in the court social media. Now obi be comment, criticize to the extent say obi do what them who are. Sometimes we feel like high, but then deep inside, who could that join Hona Sako with the comments na you understand? Baba Rahman issue no. We were playing against Central African Republic in 2023.
Yes, I was
there. And at the time Baba Rahman Ebinya Bobiana Omu. You see, that game, if you quite remember, I lead you say do bobo pa. So even Omo press conference, no, the Central African Republic coach, Edome Blackstars AFCON na ya qualifier no. If say also qualifier, ba kono be say.
In fact, that statement, when I do always need to pay attention to it. Let me jina gate. And I'm not open and I'm both.
Yeah.
It will open na some guys who know John or say, I woke up now. A best when I'm saying Martin woke up or the woke up now, a basic people swan no.
Very good. So you see, the only thing I'm trying to say is Baba Rahman issue when in that game, it was very bad. Kumasi supporters it didn't attempt. I was there at the stadium and I can share it with him because you see. But here is the case, we call back. I say right now, we'll be free Blackstars national team and then in the due time he will come back. Now the due time is here. World Cup, I'm telling you, it's a. So when you World Cup,
oh yeah, definitely.
Very good. He is also a player, and the World Cup is the ultimate tournament in the world that you can find for any other, player to share it on that particular platform. So I believe, say, at that moment in time, I also call back and call back World Cup into also come. You go to the World Cup, and even say you will go to the World Cup. So check the left back position together with Gideon Mensah. He start over the 3 years. I will go away from the Blackstars now. He start beat all other defenders currently or more. The start,
no doubt about that.
Baba Rahman starts. It beats more all the defenders over there.
No doubt about that. But why is it say time and now starting again? You see, Chris Hughton made an effort. Chris Hughton made an effort. Otu Adu too also made an effort to bring you into the national team. Ni nyinaa no man ya aware say because of how a obobo na ye srew ye horo ye onyema bi ntino o twen ho afiri. Ye bo qualifiers no. Otu Adu say ba bi o make effort say odo beba. Still na baby a ugina na ugina. Why is this year boy we na qualify na the fraud also ba bebo? Because it was because of that in no the recon e couldn't come. Because not that time not the recon akọ Galatasaray. Now the performance at Galatasaray na very encouraging. Because of that in Union Berlin Antoine Fama Galatasaray. Mo can say wa ko improve dia on and we bush Bundesliga news is here. Now Union Berlin he's one of the fantastic players at this season. Wabon humodi. Any then ba ko game against Germany. Go near share no. Look at how Osistati player the buyer obey ima play on the ball share. So we have worked with such a guy. He has proven say the no work up now obey me at abo. No doubt about Barbara man in the starting. He's a fine player, he's a good player. But I was saying in say your principles are your supreme laws.
Yeah.
At that time, your principle is a because of ABC. That ain't in work up there. I don't know principle necessary. It means because a big stage, open so making statements. Now be alcohol and team being performance. Now say we agree so now on from
the coach of the Blackstars requested.
Which coach?
Carlos Queiroz. No. Listen. He requested that Baba Rahman should be added to the list.
Yes, indeed.
And they needed to call Baba Rahman and make sure say Oman in the Bekasa. Oman in the Kasa was just to Blackstars. It's World Cup. It is World Cup, buddy. It is World Cup. No player would decide not to go to the World Cup. I've done a national team so called World Cup. No player. And the Bekasa on call World Cup. Afen Duncan, Croatia baby, Nancy was say Ombo Ghana Blackstars. Magana and go for the Donovan Kanchen so Ombebo for Ghana Blacks at the World Cup. He will come and play.
Oh, definitely.
So it's World Cup. It's a conversation, you know. That's the reason why the recon, they drop, you know, a lot of controversies. It is World Cup. Every player wants to play at the World Cup. Every player wants to play at the World Cup. I mean, story in 2010. Yeko World Cup, not this player, John Mensah, and there was also spinal injury. Surgery. I've forgotten the coach. I think Steve Bruce was the coach for Sunderland at that time. And I recommend they say John Mensah and surgery no. Now unforfeited World Cup no. Sinabe and Huberto no. Na bebuana manabo long period of time in his playing career. Do you know what John Mensah told Steve Bruce? I said there be I'll go to the World Cup. If you World Cup never, that's my football career and I cry at the pier, men found Makoba World Cup. And I share it with John Mensah. John Mensah ain't the coach Steve Bruce and that I know about Edema Sunderland. He went to the World Cup. Okoba World Cup never, no. Performance issue 2 years. Instead of Sunderland, say Omo be renew the contract, no. They decided so turn because of injury and before they realize no most of this kaka say sikana no wajina ho asanso an extension of another 2 years to his contract. Okoye said you need to know for about 6 months and send over Edamasan. So you see, this is the World Cup. The World Cup at that platform no, is actually a platform Obia negotiate for something big in his playing career. Baba Rahman issue, no. Let's leave it. It's World Cup. What hey, some musician. That's my bonum. That's a same perform or any other stage. So that as a musician. Na metia na Grammy afremi. Say Grammy air koso. So they will need my performance. Even attending to the Grammy ceremony, no, is even a plus for you, the musician. No? So let's leave it. It is World Cup. And Baba Rahman, whether so cast on Blackstars beam, Blackstars are qualified Ecobo World Cup in the day. So because of your agency player, so because I'm saying perform or any other stage, so that as a musician. Na metia na Grammy afremi. Say Grammy air koso. So they will need my performance. Even attending to the Grammy I mean, ceremony, is even a plus for you, the musician. So let's leave it. It is World Cup. And Baba Rahman, whether so cast on Blackstars beam, Blackstars are qualified Ecobo World Cup in the day. So because of your agency player, so because of our favor on penny for him, let's leave it. The performance over the past 3 years near very good. And then a World Cup. What the Kasam Kwandi or
But it's another issue that now man for reason is I want to say a core 2022 World Cup. The first 2 goals now Portugal for the share. Now and I'm the line is on neighbor.
Yeah.
He's this kind of player, defenders are when they are attacking or are very good. Baba man a overlap and also cross it amawa or cross it 10, they are showing say 5 to 6 will land to a goal high.
Yeah.
But say Oluzubo no or track it back to defender. Ayana or slow kakra. A honor and my Gideon Mensah a conversation about after a couple second league now in Korea Koboy and or my Gideon Mensah a boy and now in that results. So people feel say, look, this is a guy so defense no or 4 and 5 no or stronger. Always in the so corner in my bedding. Now the difference here is equal. Obi to say Jonas Agiti. This guy and the errors leading to go so Baba Blaster and Kwano. The recently any Austria. Any error leading to go. People have raised issue about him. Say they no constantly having a problem.
You see, and it's not only with the Blackstars. Even so on the ball against Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg or more ball.
See, Wolfsburg the until when you been born is the errors of committee were
Yes.
This season we're committing more than 3 errors leading to penalty. So such defender or no age na the heart of our defense now is a problem. Abdul Mumin.
But he was a fantastic player for Rayo Vallecano.
Yeah.
Because
but then Afinawaba. So someone are all coming back from injury. You wouldn't get the best out of it. Jonas Ajeti or more. So you see, the only player that minimum so could command the whole year. The Ghana Blackstars or Jiku. And unfortunately, on his way prayer, on way out. Now, Derek Lacazette and Eba. Fine defender. Or a bit of Jiku character in him. He is very careful or creating more awareness for himself. And then he makes sure say, Obetimi I a lot of clean sheet even a club this season. But then there comes the stage a World Cup. Experience counts. And the national team no shirt no and so counts. The team makers once pay. The team makers say national team is different from playing for club side.
Yes.
You can come to the national team and you cannot perform. You go back to your club and perform. As a Mojan, Echo Clubber. But when he comes to the national team, he will perform. Or be performing their conference in the club. You see, so the shirts around Asamojan, Tembia Washa, Ebuano, shirt Najinatum, national team spirit Najinatum. What about Derek? If you are going to start Derek in the World Cup, now you bought these 2 center back, Derek and who? Abdul Mumin, right? And then either Jonas, Ajiti. Is it going to work?
Jeremy Opokutu is there.
Jerome Opokutu is there. Is it going to work? So you see, there are a lot of controversies surrounding this particular squad. And I believe at this moment, it will take Carlos Queiroz to get the best out of this particular squad.
Okay, so if you are to make a starting 11 now, why not would anybody 2 formation be now Obabonanka? We are starting 11. Say be in England, Kubanka or starting lineup. Why not carry new now? How many
starting 11. Okay, so let me pick Benjamin Asari in the goal.
One day definitely no
Benjamin Asari, but then unse Solomon Bezin is giving them a big headache. He's a fine goalkeeper, but then I will choose Benjamin Asari in the goalkeeping position. Then the left side of our defense, I'll choose Baba Rahman. Then
4 and 5, what the real problem?
Baba Rahman Baba left.
Baba left back.
Left back.
Then
I'll pick Jerome Opoku. Jerome Opoku and then Derek Lacazette. Yes, for everything into Derek and Jerome Opoku Bebo as 4 and 5 in that particular position. Then with the right full back, Bebo Ali Duseidu in the right full back position.
Fantastic player.
It's 4 Then I play 3 midfielders. Three midfielders, no. Remember Thomas Partey, Kwasisibo, and then Caleb Yinchi.
Fantastic.
So Caleb Ebo as a typical number 8. Then Maestro the Thomas Partey as a number 10 player. Then Kwasisibo will play as 6. A pivot. He need say or neutralize the play, won't give it out to Caleb, and Caleb should also give that transmission pass to Thomas Partey for him to become a ball carrier progressor. Then the attack now three.
A problem because you can't drop Semenyo. The other two never become on a kaka.
So Semenyo will be a number 9 player for me. Fatawi Shaku, and then I'll bring in Iñaki Williams. So Iñaki Williams, Fatawi Shaku, and then Antoine Semenyo.
I think this coach will do Ghana Blaster this time. That favor now, or the Iñaki Bako the right wing on him.
Then it will be a good moment for Ghana
Blasters. Okay, Atletico Bilbao now when he's operating from the right wing now.
He's very effective.
Effective than say all striking.
Very good. That's what I'm saying. Say, I'll make sure say Ishaku play from the left. Antoine Semenyo play in the middle as a number 9. Then I play Iñaki Williams from the right. Perfect enough.
Now let's come to the Panama game. What would be your prediction? About prediction that so the what expertise on
for Panama, it will be a 2-0 victory for Ghana.
That one, the Ghana will win that game.
But we will win that game. Antoine Semenyo will score that first goal. Antoine Semenyo will score. And then Jordan Ayew, coming in as a substitute, would also score. It's 2 goal scorers. And I mean,
it
was a game. They say Antoine Semenyo and Jordan Ayew.
In England,
in England, it will be a draw game.
Why a draw game?
A draw game because it's going to be a difficult game.
I mean,
Carlos Queiroz will not open up and play against England. Carlos Queiroz ebebo 4-3-3 against Panama. But then with England, he will play 5-3-2.
Why 5-3-2?
Is it because he wants to play a low block system?
Because of Harry Kane.
Because of Harry Kane. And the attacking moment of England national team.
Because Saka is there. You can also operate to that left wing side,
Very
also teams are bad at the same time, right?
But then England and Ghana, it is going to be a warfare game because of say England style suit our style very well. And at any moment, Ghana Blackstars will go in to equalize. So I'm seeing a 1-1 draw. Or a 1-1 draw or a 2-1 against Ghana.
Wow.
But the best is 1-1 for Ghana. Then we go against Croatia. Croatia will be a difficult game.
Very difficult.
Very difficult game.
I think that's our first game.
If you are able to score against Croatia,
then we'll secure qualification.
Then we'll secure the qualification. But let me tell you this story. In 2006, you call FIFA World Cup, not check. That's saying in the FIFA World Round.
Oh, World 10, first 10, no move.
He was second.
Second.
Ghana scored them by 2 goals to 0.
Every open for a shock. Peter Cech was in the pool. What kind of players are no.
If you want to play very well against Croatia, you press them. Because majority of players, age-wise, that was slow. You press them, you get the ball out of their hands, and then you score against them. Press. That is why I love Utuado. So Utuado never against Croatia. He will easily find a way to press against Croatia. Because you press against Croatia and you get a good result. But Ujano, relaxe. You cannot underrate the IQ of Luka Modric and the other players within the Croatian national team. So for Croatia, it's going to be, both teams to score. They will score. Ghana will score. But then, I'm not seeing Ghana win against Croatia.
Wow.
Unless something different happens. But unless something different happens.
There's a way in the if I'm to go by Panama to win, draw against England, and lose against Croatia. Now it means that we can qualify.
We can qualify.
The next T 2010. If we can qualify.
We can easily qualify.
But say England Schengen. That's say we win against Panama.
Not Croatia Schengen.
Not Croatia Schengen.
It'll be very difficult for us.
We
have to win. We have to wait for the next group, because this time around, I learned 3 will be qualifying. So this time around, then we have to wait for the group, and also results and say because a bit me and Ghana qualifier. But then it's either we win against Panama, a draw against England, and maybe a draw against Croatia, and then we qualify.